Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Looking for a getaway in the Gatlinburg area? Then get to parksidecabinrentals.com. Indoor and outdoor fireplaces, hot tubs, pool tables. You even get free parking when you visit downtown Gatlinburg. Trust the Ogle family. They've been doing this, since the national park opened. Parkside Cabin Rentals. Get up there and see them. All right. We all know that Butch Jones didn't lay down a foundation. Just didn't happen. He was trying, apparently, but didn't happen. Now, in the middle, though, in his second year, he gets to a bowl game. He's 7-5 that second year. It's because he had a guy named Josh Dobbs. He had recruited somebody that kind of masked that. And in year 3, Alvin Kamara, Jalen Hurd, they kind of helped mask the underlying problems. But with him, you didn't get the full night. Well, let me give you an example, just visually speaking. Here's what you wanted. You wanted a super nice car that folks would talk about. What you got from Butch is that. I mean, it's crappy, but at least it had wheels. At least it had wheels to where it get you somewhere to begin with. What you wanted was a state-of-the-art go-fast boat. Well, he failed. What you got was that. But at least the boat moved. At least the boat moved. What you wanted was a multi-room mansion. What you got under Butch Jones? But here's the thing, at least it had roof. It had rooms and roofs. And then finally, what you wanted was a nice heated pool for your mansion. What you got? But here's the thing, it at least kept the water warm. The point is this is not a pro-Butch Jones statement at all. What it is at least there was some smoke and mirrors there to get something done. Right now, I'm asking, where are the smoke and mirrors? This current coach, I was told he's not a gym teacher. He's not a band geek. He's not named Lyle. Now we got a real recruiter and a real staff, and they're the best in America, and they're going to spend millions and millions. Can you not find something to mask some of these problems? Again, you need more talent, no question. I understand that. I didn't expect them. I said 6-6 this year. I didn't expect them to compete in the East. I did expect them to be better than Georgia State and BYU. I did expect them to put up more than 3 points at Florida.
Yes.
Is it wrong for me to expect Pruitt, super recruiter, to at least get one or two guys on the roster where I go, difference maker? Now, maybe Henry To'o is that guy moving forward. But with Jones, I at least saw Josh Dobbs, and that guy was a difference maker.
Here's an interesting question. Going forward, would you rather have Josh Dobbs again or Henry To'o? Which
Dobbs
one helps your
games.
team most?
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs wins games for you. And I don't think he's as good a football player at his position as To'o, but he had something about him.
He was at the key position in that sport, too.
The closest thing I think offensively that you may have to a game changer, and it's not going to happen this year, could it be Gray? I mean, could he be your guy going forward?
Ty Chandler can be. I mean, he's made some plays.
Which goes to my point.
But he hasn't changed the games yet.
Right.
I mean, couldn't you figure out a way to get both of those guys on the field at the same time? It goes back to the Hurd Kamara thing. Okay, how about Gray Chandler? Why don't you see a package or 2 or 3 that have them out?
The Georgia State game, they went away from those two guys.
They should have
gotten the ball over and over again against Georgia State.
Chandler's averaging 13 carries per game. Gray is averaging 9.5. I think you could double both those numbers. Yeah. I mean, you could get Chandler up to 20 a game. And I granted, the offensive line is not getting much of a run push. But if your best players are those two running backs, I think I would feed them. But that's just me. Your guys' thoughts on that? Is it unfair to say, well, one guy had a generational quarterback, this guy hasn't done it? I'll say this, too. I'm not a dual-threat quarterback guy. But in the college game, when you don't have an offensive line, here's the thing, everybody's counting on Harrison Bailey next year. Looks great. Looks terrific. Better have the offensive line ready because a drop-back passer is going to need that offensive line. A dual-threat guy like Dobbs, which UT isn't apparently recruiting, that guy can make wins even when your O-line sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pruitt wants to build his team starting on the lines. And I will say I think the offensive line much improved from a year ago.
Much improved?
Yes, I do. Look at last year.
They aren't getting the quarterback killed, but the run game isn't much improved.
Well, the run game is better than it was last year. That's you don't have as many how low it was. Yes, the Football Outsider stuff rate stat last year, Tennessee, 130th of 130 teams, 32% of their plays, stop for no gain or loss. This year, it's down to 17%. They rank like 70th. That's not great, but it's a significant step forward. They're not dealing
better
with
than 119.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not
Okay.
dealing with second and 12s and second and 13s. They got to be better there. But the defensive line, I think you probably have to go incomplete at this point, considering the talent, big picture.
You also lost your best guy before the season.
And
Yeah, losing him at Gooden is huge too. But the offensive line is better. The defensive line, they've got to continue building there, and that's
your
where
your
you're
game
at.
changers, we've seen it with Juwan Jennings. I mean, your receivers, to me, but if you can't get the ball to them,
Right.
I mean, then what good is that?
But you did get the ball to him in the end zone last week, and he batted it.
Well,
for
I
an
mean, yeah,
interception.
but John Jennings was
he's one of your
targeted
best
8
players.
times and he makes 7 catches.
He's
So, I mean,
one of your best players, but you're right. I don't know that you can get him the ball all the time.
I mean,
Chandler and Gray don't seem to make
Here's
big mistakes.
one thing I saw. I mean, every level of football, quarterback play to me has become the key thing. Look what they're paying quarterbacks in the NFL. I saw something that Garantono's quarterback rating, which you may not put a whole lot of stock in, was number 90 in the country. How are you going to be competitive and compete at the top level if your quarterback is ranked number 90 in the country?
Yeah.
We'll talk about impact players too. 2 full recruiting classes. I don't see any on the defensive line. You bring in Darrell Middleton, you bring in Savion Williams, 2 really highly recruited JUCO guys.
Yeah.
Impact has not been there.
Impact player, I would not describe them as.
And to bring it back to Josh Dobbs, Tennessee has recruited 2 quarterbacks with this staff, JT Shrout and Brian Maurer, and a lot of fans are calling for change, and we saw a change in the second half. The performance wasn't there yet, but there's your comparison, Dobbs to Maurer or Shrout.
Yeah.
Dobbs was able to come in when he was the 14 guy his freshman season, at least help, and then similar situation the next year and help get them to a bowl game. I don't anticipate that. We'll see. They might get a chance, but we haven't seen that yet.
And that was a guy that Jones flipped in
From
his
Arizona State,
half class. When he got here, only had part of the time to build the class, and he flipped him. The only thing I'll add here, and it's a concern moving forward, I said it last year when Jerry Pruitt's talking about, well, we get 5 stars, get our guys in here, all that other stuff. If he thinks he's going to get enough years to build up a roster like Alabama filled with 5 stars, he is sorely mistaken. That is not going to happen. And I'll give you something else. If this season doesn't turn around, all these 5 stars that they've been chasing this year instead of 3 stars, everybody, hey, we don't recruit 3 stars anymore. You're not going to get a lot of these 5 stars, I don't think, if you finish 4-8 or 3-9. And then you're back with 3 stars. So is that a year wasted? Are we going to have to? Does he get another year to wait? I'm not calling for his head by any stretch. I think that'd be the dumbest thing in the world. But at some point, if you're just waiting for 5 stars, and that's all, we've got to have 5 stars. Get me a smoke and mirror guy. Find me an impact player.
And that's
I
why the
haven't seen one yet.
expectations for the program have to be adjusted.
All right, we are way over. When we come back, Mark Pankratz joins us. It's typical. Whenever Mark's here, I cut his segment down to this. Just kidding. We're going to talk Tennessee basketball next. We got plenty more football to come. Basketball is next. We'll take a look at a lot of the newcomers on the roster. You're going to need a game program this year to keep track of everybody. Come on back on the Sports Source.
For me, he'd still be.
I think the offensive line is